Good evening. This is Pat from Pat's Card Corner, and I am hello. Gosh. Hello. All right, gotta turn my sound down. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and thanks for joining me tonight. I'm normally here on Thursdays, but this past 2 weeks have been kind of a little crazy, so today I'm here on Friday, so I hope you'll join me. If you are watching at some point, or if you're watching later, send me a comment, a thumbs up, a hello, whatever you want to do. So tonight I am going to be making a Valentine treat holder. It's really simple, really easy, and I'm using a stamp set that you might not consider very Valentine-ish, but it really has a couple cute things on it. I'm going to be stamping this little cat right here that says "You're just perfect." So kind of reminds me of the conversation hearts, you know, where you have little fun sayings. You can also do the little monkeys with I'm hanging around. This one would be really cute with a little heart on it with better together. So just because it doesn't say Valentine's on it, or it doesn't have hearts all over it or something else, doesn't mean you can't use it for something else. So this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and give you all the measurements for what we're going to be making, and hopefully if you're popping on later, or if you get on, that you'll try and craft with me or watch with me and try it again later. So, you have to get my trimmer out here. The one thing I forgot. Okay, so this is what you're going to need to make this little treat box. So we're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. One of them is 11 by 3 1/4, and the other piece is 5. I'll go this way. So it's 11 by 3 1/4, and this piece is 5 by 3 3/8. We are going to do some scoring on both of these pieces to make our little treat holder. You will also need a piece of designer series paper. This piece is from the Sweet Talk designer series paper. It's the Valentine one. Obviously this one's really cute. It's got a bunch of little candy pieces on it, which is kind of why I picked it for that. But you can use any of the ones from that stamp set. This piece is 3 inches by 4 1/2. If you have one of the papers that has an obvious direction on it, you want to make sure that the pattern is going long ways. So you're going to cut it 3 inches and then 4 1/2 inches, because it will be going this direction when it's on the treat holder. You will also need a couple circles, or if you don't have circles, if you want to do squares, you can do squares. So this scallop circle, which is done with I already die cut it out from the layering circle dies. This is about 2 1/2 inches, and then this circle is about 2 1/4 inches. If you have the 2 1/4 inch punch, which is now retired, you could also use that just to make it quick and easy. And the one piece that I forgot to tell you when I was posting the things you needed, you need a little scrap piece to put your sentiment on. Doesn't have to be very big, just a little scrap piece. And the other part is you will also need a little bag, because you will need to put your treats inside a little bag. So these are let me find that thing. These are 3 by 9. I only need one that's about 3 by 6, so I am going to cut this down a little bit, because otherwise it's a little bit too tall. But you can see they're called printed gusseted cellophane bags, and you can find them in the annual catalog. So, and they come, you get quite a few. You get, how many do you get? You get 25 in a package, so you can make a lot of little treat holders if you want. But you will need a little bag, and you also will need some ribbon. So this is real red ribbon, obviously, because it matches my my cardstock, and this is called faux linen ribbon, This is in the new mini catalog. You can use any ribbon you'd like, just something that matches your paper. So we are going to get started and just do a little bit of cutting and scoring. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way and let me put my little pin in there. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. Those are for stamping on. We are going to do a little bit with that, and we're going to take this longer piece, which is the 11 by 3 1/4, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer scorer, and I am going to have to put out my little arm just a little bit. Hopefully you can still see that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score this at 4 3/4. So I'm going to put it on the 4 3/4 inch line. I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way because we don't want to cut it. We just want to score it. This is 4 3/4, and then we're also going to score it at 6 1/4. And on here, it's a little bit tough to see because of the way the lines go. It's right, should be right there. Nope, that can't be right. That looks too far away. Maybe it is. Yep. Okay, so that's done. And then the other piece, which is the 5 by 3 3/8, we're going to score this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So I'm just going to put on here at 1 inch. Here's my arm. I'm going to score it. I'm going to turn it 1 inch. The scoring. Turn it again at 1 inch. Put my little arm down. Score it again, and one more time. I'm going to turn it around. So this is scoring it on all 4 sides, 1 inch. So it's equal on all 4 sides. And I don't know if you can see the little score lines on it. Hopefully you can. And now we're going to put those out of the way. Oh, wait. I'm going to bring this back because I want to cut my bag because I only want it to be about 6 inches. So I'm going to turn it this way so I can cut 3 inches off the top. And hopefully that cut through. Yep. There we go. So now I have a little bag that is 3 by 6. So I just need it to be a little bit shorter so it won't be so tall. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to fold this and just give it a nice little crease. And I am going to round all 4 corners of this, and this is the detailed trio punch, and you just put it in this one, press it right in the middle, and it does a really nice job. You don't have to do this. I just kind of like the rounded corners on it a little bit better than the square, because I find that when you're talking treat holders and people are picking them up and carrying around, the corners can get kind of ragged because they get hit on something or whatever. So I just think it stays nicer looking if the corners are rounded. So, and then we are also going to take our, since we're rounding our corners, we're also going to take this piece of paper, our designer series paper, which is 3 by 4 1/2, and the top, we're going to round just the 2 top corners of that. And like I said, if you don't want to round the top corners, you don't have to, but we are going to do that. I'm going to set this aside here for a minute. And then this piece is going to be glued right on here. So this is going to be the top. So I'm just going to flip that over. Got nice little pink kind of cloud looking things on the back here. So, and There we go. Just going to put it like this. And this piece is kind of like the base to our little treat holder. And I want to be able to, I'm going to put holes in it because I'd like to be able to like carry it. So it's actually going to get folded together like this. This little piece is going to make a little box that's going to fit right inside here. But I want to be able to put a little hole in it so that you could kind of carry it. And I am going to do that with these are retired, but you could use a circle if you wanted. These are the layering ovals, and I'm taking the smallest oval and I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine and make a little it's going to die cut a little like handle. So I'm going to actually show you how to do that, because then I'm going to show you how to do one on the opposite side so that they're going to match up, and you won't have one way up here and one way down here, and then they don't match and you can't get them together. So hold on just a second while I grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So there we go. And there's the plates. I am going to move that one. So I am going to put this on here. I am going to put it, kind of center it. And because I don't want it to move, and sometimes my thing will move on me, especially because that piece is folded, I have some little removable stickers that I bought at Office Depot, and I'm just going to take one of those and put it on here so that it won't move on me. So I'm just kind of centering it. There we go. Now I'm just going to put this on here. I'm just going to run it right through. Okay, and then you can see it comes right out. And now this is the part, and this will peel right off. So I'm just going to set that right there. So I am going to show you how to make this so that the one on the opposite side, so you have a little handle, will show it. So actually we're going to fold it inside out. I'm going to fold it up the other way. I'm going to flip it over. I'm just going to kind of hold it there. And I have a pencil. And I'm just going to take the pencil and I'm just going to lightly trace the little oval. And if you can see that, you can see my little ovals right here. So then I'm going to take this back, put this on me. I can see my little oval is right there. I'm just going to put this right on there so you can kind of line up the inside with that. Put that on there. And then I'm just going to run it through again. And my piece I'm taking out. Just carefully peel that off. That's why removable stickers are so good. And now when you flip it over and you put it together, you can see that the two sides match. You don't see the pencil mark because you've cut out around it, so it works perfect. Okay, so that is that part. So now we're going to take, hey Meg, how are you? Glad to see you join me on a night that I'm not normally here. So if you didn't miss the beginning part, you can go back and watch. Now we're going to be making the little box that goes in the middle here. And you have this piece, which is 5 by 3 3/8, and we scored it on 1 inch on every side, and now we're just going to do a little bit of cutting. So I'm going to cut up on the score line right here and kind of cut a little pie piece off both ends. I'm going to do the same on this side. Cut a little pie piece. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm having a hard time seeing my lines because of my light. And just cut a little pie piece out I think that cutting the little pie pieces out just kind of helps it fold up a little bit better. So there we go. And you can use tear and tape on this, or you can just use good old-fashioned multi-purpose glue. Hey Sharon, how are you? Oh good, Laura's going to be coming too. I've missed you guys. So I like to cut mine and then fold it up really good. So that's what I'm going to do now. So just kind of crease it really good on all the sides. And then we're just going to make a little box, and we're just going to fold in the sides, all 4 sides, and you can see it's going to be a little box. So what we need to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on these ends right here and do one end of the box, and then I'm going to put some glue on the other end and do the other end. So like I said, you could put tear and tape on these too if you'd like. Instead of using the liquid glue, just make sure you line up the corners so that they're nice and even. And then we're going to line those up. And kind of let it sit for a second. And then we're going to put some glue on this end. So a little bit on these flaps. I don't know if anybody's made Valentine treat holders yet. So I've already made about 30 of these so far. So I plan to give them out. I have a little shop where I live. They have, like, I'm a vendor at a little shop, and I have a bunch of them there, but these are just kind of fun to give out to people you know. I'm going to give some to where I go to physical therapy, you know, doctor's office, dentist's office. Not that the dentist will want to see you with candy, but you know. All right, so then I am going to put tear and tape on the bottom though, just because I think it holds it a little better. So you're going to turn your box upside down, and you're just going to put 2 long strips of tear and tape on it. On there. Because you don't want your little box to fall off. Oop, that doesn't want to tear, does it? We can take care of that. We just cut it instead. Alright, and then we're going to put a little piece over here. Just cut that one too. There we go. Kind of rub it a little. Kind of helps when you're trying to take the tape off. And I found that my little handy dandy tool here will get it off pretty quick. So there we go. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to, you can eyeball it. You're going to just put it right in the center, and it's going to go right next to the score line and the center side to side, and then you're just going to kind of press it down. And this kind of just makes a little holder for your treat bag. There we go. And so then it's going to fold up like that. Your little treats will be in the middle. But we need to decorate the outside. So that's where your little circles come in. So we had a scallop circle, which is about 2.5 inches. And then I have a whisper white one. This is about 2¼ inches. And if you missed it earlier, oh hey Kim, I am using this catch-you-later stamp set, and I'm going to stamp this little cat right here. And I'm also going to stamp this sentiment on my little scrap piece that I have right here. So we're going to stamp this and then do just a little bit of coloring. Doesn't take much. And then we're going to put it all together. So what do I do with my stamp? There's my stamp. I am going to stamp this in Memento Black. Move that out of the way. Move that. Just ink it up really good. Make sure I get it real good. And this is just kind of just fits on here, so hopefully I can get it on there and get the whole thing on it. There we go. Isn't that cute? I really like that. And then, since we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment on this scrap piece. I am going to do that in real red. And this says, "You're just perfect." This would be great to give somebody that has a cat or likes cats. There we go. Okay, put that away. Clean my stamps when I'm done. And I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring. So I have, I'm going to move my box out of the way, pumpkin pie, because I'm going to do this little goldfish here. I think I'm going to do them in the dark pumpkin pie. I might do a little bit of both. A little bit of dark and a little bit of light. One fish, put those away, and then I'm going to do the cat in crumb cake. Whoop, that's the light, you want the dark. Sorry, I'm going to start with the dark and just kind of do a little bit, do all those little dots, those little furry dots here. Kind of go around the bowl. Around his ears. Hope everybody's doing okay. So we are supposed to be having a snowstorm here today. I live in Virginia Beach, which we don't very often get snow, but we've been waiting all day for it. And okay, the name of the stamp set, oops, of course you didn't see it, Catch You Later. There you go. First they said that it was going to start snowing early this morning. Then they changed it and said about noon. Then they changed it and said, nope, it won't be till like 5. And it's like, so, and it's gone from 8 to 10 inches to 6 to 8. Now it's 4 to 6. It's snowing, but barely. And my little marker's running out here. You can tell it's getting squeaky. So, I'm still kind of waiting for it to snow. Now they say that we will see it when we get up in the morning, that it's supposed to do most of the snowing overnight. So, my husband was telling me this, and then, so I'm asking him, so you're going to get up in the middle of the night and watch it snow? He just laughed. I think that was a no. I'm just going to kind of color him in a little bit. Now, he is on the other side of this bowl, so I am going to color him very lightly because you won't see, not as dark as the other part, because you can see through the bowl to see him. So, and then I'm using Pool Party, and I'm going to do the water down here darker. I think I got a little part of my cat. Oh, isn't this cute? I just love this. I used to have a cat many years ago. He lived to be 19 years old. He was an old cat. I'm just going to do a little bit lighter here. I'm going to put a little bit here. So you can kind of see that the cat's there, but it's still, so I kind of colored over where I colored the dark. So you can see the cat, but it still looks a teeny bit blue. But we haven't had a cat for a long time. I'm just going to kind of make this a little bit darker here. Okay, so there's our cat. This is my You're Just Perfect. And I don't know why, but I've had trouble stamping straight lately, so I just started kind of cutting around on my sentiments. I don't know why, and I kind of like the look, so guess what? That's what I'm going to do again. And I kind of want it to be small, and this way I can make it a smaller, not quite so big. So I'm just gonna kind of cut around the letters a little bit. And you know, you don't have to be perfect doing this because you're just kind of cutting around the words. So you just kind of cut it and you're done. This is also handy if you don't have like a skinny die or something that you want to use to cut your words out with. There we go. Okay, so now I just drew that off the side of the screen, didn't I? Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. And I know no dimensionals on this piece, but I am going to put dimensionals on the back of the red piece. When I put it on here. So we're going to put it on the front of here. And I have some dimensionals for the back. And these go together really quick, I think. So if you're making a whole bunch of these, you can make the boxes and then you make all the tags and then you just throw them all on. And voila, you're done. So you can do all of your stamping all at one time. They're sledding down driveways. Yeah. I don't think that I haven't seen anybody in my neighborhood sledding, but we kind of live on a cul-de-sac, so there aren't any little kids right where we are. So I'm just kind of putting that right in the center of that, and then I'm just going to take this, put a couple of the little dimensionals on the back. And Cruz, it's nice to see you too. Oop, got stuck to my hand there. Want to stick, there we go. All right. These little things are driving me crazy here. I'm going to put one in the middle. Oop, that back piece is already peeled off. Get this out of the way. And then I'm just going to put this, oh no, bottom, top. Try this side. I'm going to put it at the top. I'll just stick it that way. Let me fix that though. Just a tad. So I get the whole thing on there. There we go. Okay, so when you're putting your candy in there, this is my little bag that I cut off. I always like to put a little bit of shredded stuff in the bottom of mine. I don't know, just for prettiness. I just buy this at the Dollar Tree, so they just have different colors. I don't put very much in, just a little, maybe a little bit more, because it just makes it more fun, and then I don't have to put like a ton of candy in there. So I've got some Hershey Kisses to put in there, and I think I have I have 8, which is kind of a good number. You can put 10, 12. And then what I do is I fold it over. I stick a little piece of tear and tape on it, where I folded it. That way it'll stay closed, but I don't have to staple it, especially with if you're giving these out for kids. You don't want to, put staples in it, because then they could kind of cut themselves on the staple. But this way they can also reseal it if they wanted to. So just sealed it up just like that. You just set it in there, right in the little box. Close up your lid. You can. And then all you do is get a piece of ribbon, wherever my ribbon went, and you tie a pretty bow, cut a piece off, and you can just tie it shut. And they can get it open, they can tie it back again. So just going to tie a bow on it. If you want to, you could put a little tag on it so they could put to and from. Especially, if it's kids giving it to other kids, you could put a little to and from on it. You could also put another little tag on the back right here that says to and from. You could stamp to and from on here before you put it together. Just all kinds of little options. And then I'm just going to cut my ends off because my ribbon got a little bit too much. And there you go. One little treat box, little treats inside. Easy to make and doesn't take a whole lot of paper. So there you go. So I hope you like this, and you know, like I said, you can do some of the other ones on the same thing. You could do little monkeys. I actually have a little monkey I stamped. I haven't put it on there. That's sitting around waiting. This is my little monkey, and I stamped the I love hanging around with you. So it's going to go on a different one. So you can imagine. It's right there. So anyway, but fun. But I really like the cat one. He's kind of my favorite. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll give it a try. It's super easy to do, and it's fun, and it's, you know, it's a great little gift, and they're kind of easy to carry around if you know, to give it to somebody, because it's got a little handle on it. So there you go. So I hope you all have a great night, and thanks for tuning in tonight, because it's not my normal night. Hopefully I'll be back on a normal schedule next Thursday. So I hope I will see you then, and have a great weekend. And if you are somewhere where it's snowing, stay safe and be careful. All right. Have a good evening.